today. Getaway day for the Tampa Bay Rays. They're here to take on the Angels, the final game of a 3-game series. Happy to have you with us, everybody. Rory Marcus along with Mark Gubazat. Today, the Angels and the Rays wrap things up. And it really, when you look back on the Angels season, it was a series in Tampa Bay that helped the Angels get going this year.
Yeah, we talked about it at the start of the series. Mike Scioscia had that meeting with the club. And at that point, they were 29-29, not playing particularly good baseball. They weren't scoring a lot of runs, and they certainly weren't hitting home runs. But since that point, those last 53 games, 38-15. Batting average over 300, runners at scoring position nearly 350. And when you look how many home runs they've hit from that point on, you can see why they're scoring the runs that they are right now. The offense has been dynamic. They can still steal bases, but they're hitting the ball out of the yard, and that's why they're winning games.
And it's been an interesting season. A lot of things have happened this year, and today will be another one. The Major League debut of La Crescenta's Trevor Bell on the mound for the Angels.
The key for him, Rory, just be able to go out there and relax. Trust Mike Napoli behind the plate to get him through those nerves in that first inning. I mean, he's had a tremendous season in the minor leagues, a 7-7 record with an ERA at 2.70, so you know he's got good stuff making that jump from AA to AAA. His first start in AAA threw a one-hit shutout, so you know the stuff is there. We'll throw around 91, 92, the curveball, slider, and a changeup. But above all, just take a deep breath, relax there on the mound, and believe in your stuff. Don't give the hitters too much credit. Go after them.
A lot of people in the stands, I'm sure, will be rooting for Trevor Bell today.
No question.
All right, it's the Angels and the Rays. It's already been a great series between these two teams. The Angels have won both the games, so they go for the sweep today. The Angels and Rays, baseball coming up next. Superstores of the Los Angeles Angels. And by Carl's Jr., the teriyaki $6 burger with grilled pineapple, back at Carl's Jr. At the Big A, it's the Angels and the Tampa Bay Rays today, wrapping up a 3-game series. And the Angels look like they're ready to go in the dugout. Look out, Dino.
Sneak attack. And Mike Napoli against Dino. Dino coming back. Quick as a cat.
Always. The Tampa Bay lineup today: Jason Bartlett, Carl Crawford, and Evan Longoria. Zobrist, Pena, and Burrell in the middle. Then Gabe Gross, Diana Navarro, and Gabe Kapler to face Trevor Bell.
Boy, Trevor Bell does have good stuff. Former #1 draft pick by the Angels. Great ERA in the minor leagues this year, and that's at AA and AAA. Got a 2.70 ERA. Does not give up the long bone. He's 6 home runs and 140 innings pitched. Big thing, though, when you're a rookie making your debut, especially in the middle of a pennant race, you just got to try to relax as much as possible. I know easier said than done, but that's the best advice you can have right now.
Crescenta Valley High School, La Crescenta. Willits, Matthews, and Abreu in the outfield behind him. Figgins, Ibar, Kendrick, and Morales in the infield, and Mike Napoli catching Trevor Bell, who undoubtedly has dozens of people here, friends and family, watching.
Boy, Eric Ibar back at short. Got a half a game off yesterday. Had to come in, and Meister was hit by that pitch in the inside part of his elbow. And he made an outstanding play. He's been excellent at shortstop. Those numbers he has so far: 285 fielding percentage. With that power arm, in my opinion right now, should be the Gold Glove winner in the American League at the shortstop position.
Well, Trevor Bell, he's been waiting for this moment for a long time, Billy. So have all his friends and family in the stands, no doubt.
Well, if his debut at the big league level was anything like it was at the AAA level when he threw a one-hitter, that's the kind of effort he has tonight. Again, just don't worry about who you're facing. The same hitters that you face down in the minor leagues this day have a better idea of the strike zone.
And Jason Bartlett, who just happens to be a .336 hitter in the big leagues.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
These are the same guys, huh?
Yeah, just don't look up at the scoreboard.
And the first pitch of Bell's career in the big leagues is strike one to Jason Bartlett. Oh, 0-2 with a nice breaking ball.
Well, he's way ahead of the game. My first 4 pitches weren't even close to the zone.
That's a shot.
They walked Brett Butler at that point with Cleveland on 4 pitches.
And a slow roller past the mound. Tough play. Figgins bare hands it and gets him. Nice play by Sean, and that helps the rookie out. 1 batter, 1 out.
Well, you always look for it and hope for a young pitcher to have some kind of defensive plays like this made behind that first inning so you can get through it. But what a play by Sean Figgins. Bare hands and throws all at the same time. Bartlett runs very well, gets him by half a step.
Carl Crawford up there now. Strike one.
Just strike throwing machine.
Ball chopped foul by Crawford. Trevor Bell, born in October of 1986 in North Hollywood. We had Rancho Cucamonga Quakes Day here a couple of days ago. Well, he was with Rancho Cucamonga for 36 games last year. That's how fast it can happen. And Mike Scioscia has said he thinks he's probably here for more than just this one start today.
Ooh, that's a pretty good pitch. The velocity so far in this game, that was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside corner. That's what you like to see. A young pitcher going inside with that fastball.
Crawford grounds one up the middle. Backhanded by Kendrick, but he won't be able to get Carl Crawford. Good try by Howie, but Crawford can fly.
Boy, great range by Howie. So position to make a strong throw too, but Carl Crawford is too fast going down the line. So far early in this game, the defense showing Trevor Bell, just be aggressive. Get the ball down, get ground balls, we'll make the plays for you.
1 out, 1 on, and Evan Longoria up there. So a couple of local guys facing off here. So far, Bell's hitting some good spots with that fastball, isn't he?
He has. He's comfortable on the mound. You also have to be aware of the speed of Carl Crawford there at first base with 53 stolen bases. Being tested early on to see if he can keep that focus, that kind of speed at the base pass.
Fastball up and in. Evan Longoria standing up there. He has hit 24 home runs this year. Just to give you an idea of how prolific Crawford is on base, he has 20 more stolen bases than Figgins. I mean, he's leading the league by 1 over Jacoby Ellsbury, but then it comes way down to B.J. Upton, who is 18 behind him.
Pretty impressive so far for Trevor Bell to be able to hold the baseball too out of that stretch position. And you have the nerves and the butterflies going to be able to hold the baseball, which is still the best way to negate a running game. Impressive so far.
To Figgins at third base. There's one at second. And a double play. Around the horn double play. Trevor Bell walks off the mound after his first inning in the big leagues.
We'll be facing a 10-game winner in Jeff Neiman. Good ERA at 3.73, also with 2 shutouts. It's a fastball, above average fastball, 91 to 96 mile an hour. He's got a good curveball. Nice slider too, and a changeup. Last time out against the Indians, went 3 2/3 innings. Gave up 5 runs, 4 earned. had some command issues through a lot of pitches early in that game. 91, just little less than 4 innings of work.
Sean Figgins, you know, if you just look at Figgins and then look at Neiman. Neiman is listed at 6'9", 260. And Figgins almost looks like a little kid batting against him.
Well, he's a
lot bigger
giant
than
human
Sean.
being. Yeah. Most times when you see a guy that tall, it's generally going to be fairly slow to the plate. So Sean Figgins will take the advantage back if he gets on base.
Zobrist makes the play to retire Figgins first time up. Crawford, Gabe Kapler, and Gabe Gross in the outfield, with Longoria, Bartlett, Zobrist, and Pena around the infield for the Rays. Diana Navarro getting his first start in this series and catching Neiman today.
Gabe Kapler playing center field, a Taft High School product out of the San Fernando Valley. Good arm in the outfield, too. Very aggressive. Plays a shallow center field. So he's good at going back on the baseball.
Ibar takes strike one. Bunt try, gets it by the mound. Zobrist bare hands, but won't get him. It's a bunt single for Eric Ibar, a drag bunt single. Once he got that past Neiman, he was in pretty good shape.
Well, the Angels first in the majors in bunt hits. Now 27. Good job of dragging that baseball by. When you get that second baseman to field the ball, chances are you're going to be safe, especially with that speed of Eric Ibar. Now look for him to try to steal a bag against Neiman, who's fairly slow to the plate. 1.4 to almost 1.5 with that 6'9" frame.
Jeff Neiman out of Rice University, pitching to Bobby Abreu. There goes Ibar. The throw by Navarro is high. Ibar slides off the bag, and he's out. The momentum carried Ibar right over the bag. Too bad for Eric. He had it stolen easily.
Boy, he had a great jump, too. Ibar, not much of a chance. Pretty good catch and throw. The momentum took him right by the base. Just kept that tag applied. That's why you see how he went sliding right by the base. I was able to keep that tag on him and got him.
2 outs and 2-0 to Abreu. Three and one now to Bobby. A line shot caught by Zobrist. Nice play by the second baseman. 1 inning in the books and no score at the Big A. comes with coasters, which will feature Rivera, Hunter, Vladdy, and Abreu.
That's amazing.
Then your wife can say, Mark, I've asked you not to use the Abreu coaster. Here, take this other one.
Well, look at that. Keep the table nice and no stain on the table or nothing. It's perfect. A coaster, but no coasters there.
Well, we'll take care of that. You can get tickets for that game on August 25th at angelsbaseball.com.
Roy, you're pretty excited about that coaster night.
Well, who wouldn't be? The Angels are playing the Tigers that night.
Defensive playoff preview also. And some coasters.
What more could you ask? Ben Zobrist up there. 2-1 the count to Ben. There's a shot into center field right at Matthews. Oh, I think Gary had a little issue with the sun there. But he hung in there and made the catch.
I'm sure that added the high sky here on the afternoon game. It's blue sky. Zobrist hit that right on the nose.
He's ducking his head out of the way, though, just in case.
Well, that baseball found the glove there. But the defense so far for the Halos, a great job for Trevor Bell.
Carlos Pena steps in for the Rays. Ground ball right side, but the Angels had the shift on. They were playing him perfectly. And from shallow right, Kendrick throws him out.
Well, you can see this early on. We had the Angels with the shift on. Perfect position to be able to make this play. Carlos Pena hit this ball hard. Howie right there, able to field it, make the throw across. But the defense early in this game sensed it with a young pitcher like Trevor Bell making his debut with the nerves going. That little extra oomph in their step to be able to make those plays, help them relax a little bit. Early on, it's been effective.
Pat Burrell at the plate for the Rays. Okay, he's into his second inning now, so are the nerves starting to calm down?
I think so. I think that the confidence, in the minor leagues, there's going to be some situations where ground balls or fly balls aren't caught because not everyone's a top prospect down in the minor league level at times. But here he comes up at the big league level, and you see the defense this club has allows you to be more aggressive.
I've heard a lot of players say no matter who you were playing or where you were playing or what the situation was, not once were they ever nervous playing a minor league game. But then you come up here and that changes a little bit. But you wouldn't know it by watching Trevor Bell, who strikes out Burrell to end the second. Second inning at Angel Stadium on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon for a ball game. And Vlad Guerrero leads off against Jeff Neiman. Swing and a miss. Wow.
I think Vlad's loose now.
He broke every bone in his back on that swing.
Most people go out and stretch before the game. Vlad just decides to swing as hard as he can.
Right. There's a high pop fly foul and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Vladdy. He does come off the bench swinging, doesn't he?
Especially if he knows a fastball is coming, and Neiman with a very good fastball.
And a pretty good breaking ball that Vlad just does stay alive on. Right to Zobrist at second base for the first out in the inning.
You see, Vlad coming off the bench. Knows Jeff Neiman has some good velocity on the fastball. Goes high fastball, middle part of the plate. Then a fastball on the outside corner. Then sinks the fastball down here in the zone. Then goes back out on a fastball that was elevated. Vlad hit it hard. We're ready to head to second baseman for an out. It's surprising when it went with hard stuff all the way through. Even has a very good curveball.
Henry Morales up there now for the Angels.
One loss in his last 10 starts, 6-1 with an ERA under 3 at 2.96.
Tampa Bay is getting to where they need some wins. They've lost 3 games in a row now, including 2 here. And they're dropping out of the race a little bit as far as trying to win this division. They're 9 games behind the Yankees. And in the wild card, they are now 3.5 games behind the Red Sox. One and 2 to Kendry, who takes a called third strike. Well, I'm sure Morales probably feels that one was a little bit low and outside.
A couple pitches were pretty close, borderline pitches. That was a good fastball on the outside corner. Mike Riley behind the plate. It's the emphatic punch out sign. Perfect located that fastball from Neiman. Early on, he's commanding the zone effectively. For a rookie, tied for the lead in the American League as far as wins. 10. Porcello, who was involved in that incident with Kevin Youkilis yesterday in that bench clearing brawl.
Mike Napoli up there now. Right into the dugout. 0-2. Good breaking ball, gets him looking. Quite an inning for Neiman. And after 2 innings, no score.
Tough plays, forehand, backhand, strong throw, but today the barehand play on Jason Bartlett. Sean Figgins, he is dealing. That is our Jack in the Box outside the box.
What do you think, Gold Glove for Figgins this year?
I firmly believe. They always think of other guys, maybe a Scott Rowan, although he's no longer with Toronto. So sometimes reputation gets you that Gold Glove. But for me, as far as consistency, making the great plays at crucial times, Sean Figgins deserves the Gold Glove.
Trevor Bell, his first 2 innings as a big leaguer, he has faced 6 batters, retired 5 of them. Got a double header, or got a double play rather, when he did give up a single to Carl Crawford. And now Gabe Gross steps in for the Rays. I'll tell you though, Gooby, Trevor Bell is pitching with tremendous confidence.
The defense picking him up early in the game allows you to feel that way on the mound.
2-0 to Gross. Lined into left center field, well hit into the gap in left center, and it one-hops the wall. The second hit given up by Bell, a leadoff double by Gross in the 3rd inning.
And because he fell behind, Trevor did 2-0. Gabe Gross, he had to come in with that fastball in the outside corner, but it was elevated enough where Gross was able to get good extension on the bat, good part of the bat, square it up and hit it in the left center field for a double.
Diana Navarro, who has not played the first couple of games of this series. Hits a fly ball into left center. Matthews moving over. 1 out.
Real good at bat for Navarro, not able to get Gabe Gross at the very least over to third base. Gets a fly ball Trevor Bell did against him. Big out. No advancement of the base runner.
Gabe Kapler, 33 years old now. He retired for a while and then came back. He retired in 2007.
He's actually a coach.
Yeah, he managed in A-ball. He managed Greenville in the Red Sox organization. They finished 7th, so he came back as a player. And he's been around a long time, so he got a pretty good contract, $1 million a year to come back and be a player. Actually, he got a little bit more than that. He got $1,018,000. 18 being his lucky number, so he gets $1,018,000.
He's also the guy that hit that ball that Dwayne Wise brought back, that would-be home run. It preserved the perfect game for Mark Burley in Chicago just a few weeks ago.
One ball, 2 strikes. $18 means life in the Jewish faith, and that's why Kapler wanted that extra 18 on his contract. Down he goes. 2 outs. Kids looking for a unique back-to-school accessory, then come out to the Big A Saturday, August 29th. All kids 2 to 18 in attendance will receive a free one-of-a-kind camouflage backpack, courtesy of Healthy for Life. You can get this backpack when you buy your tickets at angelsbaseball.com.
Nice looking backpack. Boy, you would look great walking around town on the road with that backpack.
Certainly would be handy to have with me when I go out shopping on the road. Would you like a bag, sir? No, no. Let's put it in my Angel backpack.
Back to school is right around the corner. Some are already actually back at school, believe it or not. They always love to hear that. Back to school, the kids do.
Jason Bartlett lines a single into right field. Abreu's on it quickly. Coming around third and being held up there. Gabe Gross stops at third base. The ball got to Abreu in a hurry. And the Rays unable to score a run on that base hit.
Boy, Bartlett, after a tough night against Irvin Santana, that 3-hit shutout by Irvin with 3 strikeouts, had a good swing on the pitch in the outer part of the plate. Hit it too hard, unable to score. Gabe Gross. Bobby Abreu did a good job of charging that baseball.
So we'll see how Trevor Bell reacts here to his first little bit of turbulence in an inning. Runners on the corners. 2 outs and a very tough hitter at the plate, Carl Crawford.
Speed at the plate and also speed at first base. Bartlett with 21 stolen bases, so he's got to be aware of that also.
Ground ball to first base. First ball swinging. Crawford is retired and Bell's out of the jam. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score.
Job to get through that inning there with Carl Crawford at the plate with all that speed. It's a ground ball, gets through it. First Major League K, Pat Burrell, a world champion. Pretty impressive for him.
Howie Kendrick leads off the bottom of the third inning. Meanwhile, Neiman's done pretty well also, giving up just 1 hit. He's faced the minimum so far. One ball, 1 strike to Howie. Hitting .269. 6 home runs. Fastball just off the plate. Neiman throws hard.
A lot of fastballs early on, but this curveball he threw to Kenner in that spot. I mean, to Mike Napoli, they'll finish him off. That was a nasty curveball. So he does have a great 12-6 curveball. That fastball, he could rush in 94 to 96 also.
There's the curveball, but he missed with it.
It's a heck of a pitch. Just got underneath that just a tad, but definitely a 12-6 curveball, especially that's coming in at 77 after a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Tough to gauge.
Howie fouls one back to the screen. Right back up the middle, a base hit for Howie Kendrick.
He gets the fastball out over the plate. Does exactly what you're supposed to do if you're a good hitter. Go right up the middle with that pitch.
And that'll bring on Gary Matthews. We mentioned Neiman pitched at Rice University, and he was pretty good. 28-4.
That's pretty good. Look for Howie with 8 stolen bases on the season. Think about stealing a bag too here.
Howie gets back in there easily. Gary Matthews hitting .248.
Pretty good size lead for Howie.
Meiser Turris was hit by a pitch yesterday, Gooby, and he's not playing today.
He has that wrap around the elbow area. The pitch ran in from David Price and got him right on the elbow, but with the day off tomorrow, Mike Scioscia feels that he'll be ready to go come that series in Baltimore. It's not going to be any long-term effect for Meiser here with that hit by pitch.
Chopped by Matthews to the first baseman, Pena.
There's Meiser. You can see he got wrapped around his right elbow. Pitch was cutting in on him at 96 miles an hour. Got him right on the elbow area, the bone area of his throwing arm. And David Price was the one there on the left who threw that pitch. David Price was dealing early on, and then it fell apart for him. A lot of fastballs last night. Especially he's got a very good slider and a changeup, but relied too much on the heater, and that helped the Angels time him before too long last night.
Reggie Willits had a big 2-run hit in that ball game last night. Got the Angels going against Price. The Angels have a runner in scoring position here, and they've been on fire in that category against the Rays. 7 for 12. That's 583. The Angels were 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position last night. Neiman falls behind on Willits, 2-0.
I think with Neiman, 6'9". He doesn't have a high leg kick, but he also has that hook action before he throws. It gives you better time to be able to steal on him also.
Reggie lays down a nice bunt. Longoria throws to first, and he gets him. Wow, nice play by Evan Longoria. That looked like a bunt single as soon as it left the bat with Willits running.
You can't put down a more perfect bunt if you're a batter from the left side, is to push that ball right down the third base line. But Evan Longoria, that's going to be the two battles for the Gold Glove with Sean Figgins and Evan Longoria. Both of them very good. Both have made 2 tremendous plays coming in using the bare hand, scooping, throwing, same motion.
That's as good as it gets right there for a third baseman on a bunt single try.
said before, Tom Foley, the third base coach, has said he's the best fielding third baseman, although Evans hasn't been around a long time. But Tom Foley, their coach for the Rays, has been around a long, long time and said that the best fielding third baseman he's ever seen.
Hendricks at third with Figgins batting.
Heavy lofty praise, too, when you think about it. I mean, he saw Mike Schmidt play and a lot of good ones over the days coming in the National League. So Evan Longoria, very good. You can see why with that play.
One and one to Figgins. Sean Figgins leads the league in runs scored. And he smacks that one into left field to score a run. Angels 1, Tampa Bay nothing. The 39th run batted in of the season for Figgy.
That's what you're supposed to do on a pitch in the outside part of the plate. Trust your hands, let it get deep in the zone in the outside part, and go the opposite field. For a base hit, gets by Evan Longoria. What a swing, though, by Sean Figgins.
And a big hit for the game's first run. 2 outs, Ibar at the plate. Figgins is running. Navarro's throw is on the money, but too late. "34 stolen bases for Figgy, and it's not hard to figure out, with a batting average over 300 and the way he runs, why he would lead the league in runs scored.
Pretty good jump, and again, even being 6'9" with that little extra action in his throwing motion gives the base runner a better chance. Navarro did everything he could to throw at Sean Figgins, but he gets the foot in there for a stolen base.
0-1 to Ibar. 0-2.
See that base stealers are 18 to 23, which is nearly 80% of the time they're successful against Neiman when he's on the mound. There's always been a lot of great ones that didn't necessarily slow down the running game. Nolan Ryan, Dwight Gooden, guys like that.
Ibar hangs in 0-2.
Greg Maddux, the future Hall of Famer, wasn't necessarily great at slowing down the running game. That's a big part of the Angels' success, is being able to be aggressive and stealing bases, getting scoring position.
Big leadoff for Figgy. He looked like he was close to trying to steal third base there.
Trying to time, see if Neiman will give him a different look. What I mean by that, as a pitcher, if you just give out one look back to second and go to home, they'll time you. But if you vary it, look at twice, maybe 3 times, and then go back to one look, it's harder for a base runner to get a bigger lead.
One and 2 to Ibar.
And also, you got to think of the lines that he's already in scoring position. There's 2 outs, a left-handed batter up. Gives Navarro a free look to third base if Sean's going to try to steal. So if you're going to steal third base in this spot, you better make sure you make it and have a significant jump on the pitcher.
Good leadoff for Figgins, who goes. Ibar strikes out, and that's the inning. The Angels are on the board. 1-0 after 3 innings. league in runs scored, who are the only Angels ever to win that title over a full season.
Boy, Gary Pettis maybe, Ron White, Dean Chance.
A pretty good chance, yeah. I think Dean scored 700 runs one year.
I'm never not going to put his name in there from now on. I'll tell you that, no matter what.
Evan Longoria leads off the fourth inning. Oh, 0-1 to Evan Longoria, who hit into a double play his first time up. Well, Trevor Bell is 3 innings into his big league career, and he's done very well, Gooby.
He looks comfortable on the mound. That's the most important thing, especially when you're a young kid like this. He's been working ahead of the count. That's a pretty good secondary pitches also.
There's a shot up the middle by Longoria for a base hit. The 4th hit given up by Bell today. Be interesting to see what Mike Butcher's reaction is to Bell's start today. But it has to be so far so good.
He's given up the 4 hits so far, but he hasn't walked anybody. That's the most important thing. You stay away from big inning situations when you throw strikes.
He hasn't even gone to a 3-ball count on anybody. Zobrist takes a strike. Bell got through the first 3 innings on 32 pitches. And he's 9 for 13 on first pitch strikes. One and 1 to Ben Zobrist. Well, he's done a lot of things right on the mound today.
Cutting that fastball also. 90-91. Sink the fastball. Real good idea. Good game plan. Him and Mike Napoli have worked together so far.
Inside to Zobrist, 2-2. Longoria at first base. Nobody out in the 4th. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Zobrist.
Well, he threw him a changeup there. Certainly not where you necessarily want to locate that changeup. It was up, but it was the speed that got Zobrist out at 85 miles an hour. Got him to chase at that changeup up. Not the strikeout. That's the most important thing, is the changing of speeds. For youngsters out there watching, that's the key. Just mixing in that changeup makes your fastball that much better, but also throws off the timing of even a good hitter like Ben Zobrist.
Here's a pretty good power hitter, Carlos Pena. He's hit home runs in 3 of his last 5 games. He's hit 29 home runs this season. They do have the shift on for Pena, but not enough to where it would take him out of double play position. If he does hit the ball on the ground to the right side, it'll be the third baseman, Figgins, who covers second base with this shift on. He went around. Strike two.
Curveball in the dirt. And out in front. Eric Cooper, the third base umpire, said it was a strike. Did a nice job behind the plate last night.
This is the 5th time Bell has had an 0-2 count on a batter. Runner goes. The throw down to second base by Napoli. They will not get him. Longoria steals second.
Longoria almost went flying by the base himself, and Eric Ibar just tried to keep that tag on him.
That happened to Ibar earlier in the ball game, sliding over the bag.
Pretty good jump. And Longoria now with 5 stolen bases on the season. Jim just trying as hard as he could. Actually, he could have been called out on that one.
Looked like the fingertips may have come off the bag just for a second.
Boy, coming up, you can see it right here. Fingertips kept it right there. It's right there. He got him.
I'm sure Ibar was giving him a little help to get those fingertips off the base.
There it is. Right there is the spot. The fingers are off the base. Similar to that Ron Gant and Ken Herbeck in that World Series.
Pena drives one down the right field line, and that ball is gone. Number 30 for Carlos Pena, 2-1 Tampa Bay. Well, he's been hot. That's 4 of his last 6 games. Pena's hit a home run.
Look at our pitch sequence here against Carlos Pena there. First pitch, changeup that was up. This time he went with a breaking pitch, get the check swing, fastball up. And again, a changeup. This time he timed it well. Over the middle part of the plate. You want that changeup when you're going to throw the lefty on the outside corner. He's so strong, able to pull that ball down to the corner and get the home run, 2-run homer.
Now Pat Burrell up there for the Rays. And he hits one toward Howie Kendrick at second base. 2 down.
This is his 30th home run of the season. Well, he's got great power, and he hits the ball well the other way too. So that wasn't. It was a, the location was over the plate. It was down. Pena is so strong against Trevor Bell. Hits that out.
Gabe Gross doubled into the gap in left center field his first time up. The Angels will be on the road for 10 games after this one. Heading to Baltimore tomorrow, a travel day. The Orioles played and lost today to Oakland 6-3. Orioles have been scuffling quite a bit in the second half. And they'll go to Baltimore, then Cleveland and Toronto. Ironically, Cleveland, after trading away most of their best players, they've been playing good baseball. Gross hits a fly ball to center field. Matthews hurrying in, makes the catch. But a 2-run home run by Carlos Pena gives Tampa Bay the lead. American League in runs scored this year, who are the only 3 Angels ever to lead the league over a full season.
Darren Erstad in there.
Albie Pearson, Don Baylor, and Vladdy.
Good Vlad. Don Baylor was the MVP that year, as was Vlad Guerrero that year. He led the league in runs scored. Hall of Famer, no question.
Vladdy batting second this inning after Bobby Abreu leads off the bottom of the 4th. Jeff Neiman now working with a 1-run lead for the Rays. They lead it for the first time today.
They're having a tough homestand. But still winning games, though. Opportunity to sweep the Rays here. Already won the series. Something new just about every day for this club.
Two and 1 to Abreu.
Carlos Pena hit that 2-run home run on the changeup by Trevor Bell.
And Bobby pops one high in the air, shallow center field for Gabe Kapler. Fans, this Sunday night at Petco Park in San Diego, the USA's best high school baseball players take the national stage in the 7th annual Aflac All-American High School Baseball Classic. Craig Biggio joins the live HD broadcast. Game time is 5 o'clock here on Fox Sports West. Vlad Guerrero at the plate, swings and fouls it away. Well, the Rays are anxious to get home, and they're going home after this game. They are so much better at home, where they are 18 games over 500 and 9 games under on the road. Vladdy powers one into left field, but he didn't quite get it. Crawford will make the catch on the warning track. Well, Vlad had a great swing at that one, Gooby, but I think he might have gotten it off the end of the bat just a little bit.
Just off the end of the bat, exactly right. Had a pretty good swing, but there was some late movement on the pitch that got Vlad just to miss that one. Well, he just got underneath it, too. But the late movement by Neiman, a good fastball at 93. Vlad is so strong. Even when he doesn't get quite the swing on it, still able to almost hit that one out, which is a great sign for Vlad Guerrero and the Angels.
Kendry Morales batting now. Kendry struck out looking his first time up. Let's check our United States Marines leaders of the game. Kendry Morales, batting average way up there this year.
25 home runs, too, playing an outstanding defensive first base.
Well, he's playing every day. He's getting the playing time. Players always say, just give me a chance. He's gotten his chance, and he's cashed it in.
Yeah, and him and Juan Rivera both getting an opportunity to play every day and put up great numbers and solid defensively. When you make those comparisons, Mark Teixeira, 29 home runs. But that's the big thing. Here's the big difference. Money rated that spot. That's the biggest difference of them all. The numbers are similar, because it allows you flexibility to do other things to improve your ball club.
Kendry keeps playing the way he has this year, those bottom numbers there will go up significantly.
They will eventually. It's the economics of the game.
2-2. Teixeira and his Yankees are in extra innings today. The Yankees are home against the Blue Jays, tied 3-3 in the 10th. The Yankees have overtaken the Dodgers for the best record in baseball, by the way. Morales reaches base with 2 outs here in the 4th. Mike Napoli steps in. But of course, and nobody in Anaheim is hoping this happens, but if it ever came to pass this year that the Yankees played the Dodgers in the World Series, it wouldn't matter who had the best record. That's all decided in the All-Star game. Which way would you like to decide it, All-Star game or best record?
I've always believed it should be the best record, but they didn't do that for years anyhow. It alternated between the National League and the American League, so there hasn't been anything set in stone and done the right way for years.
Yeah.
So I do like the fact that the All-Star game becomes more meaningful, especially because of interleague plays taking that luster away.
Yeah.
But if you're a National League coach, I don't think you're real happy about that.
No, not the last several years.
Yeah. You could have the best record and come World Series time, well, the American League has the home field advantage once again, which is always important for that game 6 and 7 if it goes that far.
1-1 to Napoli, who hits a high pop fly. I mean, that thing is way up there. Now can they catch it? Oh, no, they do not. And a run scores to tie the game. That pop fly was so high, Gooby, you could see as soon as it left the bat, it might be trouble.
Boy, and you could see by when Carl Crawford was coming in, he was hoping and praying that Jason Bartlett was going to be the guy to make the play. It was a tough sky, and Bartlett had to go a long, long way. And that baseball was about as high as you can hit a baseball and stay in the yard. Boy, at the last second, you see Carl looking at Bartlett and then put his eyes up at the last second, tried to make the play. At that point, it was by him. A gift run, and Mike Napoli, though, hustling all the way through. Gets to third base.
Howie Kendrick, the batter.
Important because Jeff Neiman has 5 wild pitches. Now Napoli at third base, that's a great hustle. Even a pitch that he felt that he should have crushed.
Well, not only that, but they have scored that a triple. And you know very well when Napoli sets his sights on a triple, he gets going around those bases.
And
that doesn't happen very often.
And no doubter. It's his 3rd career triple now.
So that makes it a triple and an RBI. The count 1-1 to Howie Kendrick. Check swing by Howie and a foul ball. Well, Napoli senses triple as soon as he hits it.
Yeah, he hit that pop up and knew he had a pitch to drive. Then sees the trouble. Turns on the afterburners here.
There he goes.
Look at him go. Mike Napoli getting in there with a triple. And no doubter.
Two balls, 2 strikes now to Howie Kendrick. Well, what do you think of the call? I mean, in your mind, is that a triple or an error?
Well, it's a real tough play to be able to give an error to Carl Crawford because at that point, he's not even seeing the baseball. He's just assuming Bartlett's going to make the play. In the last second, he tried to react. That's a short, it even hit his glove, so it has to be a triple.
Fastball just off the plate. Well, you look up into that bright sky at a ball hit that high, and that's a tough play.
Plus, he was playing extremely deep with the power of Mike Napoli to 16 home runs. Long way to go.
Ball 4 to Kendrick.
And does a play like that affect a young pitcher like Jeff Neiman? Good.
Hickey thinks so. He's going to come out and talk to his pitcher.
You think you're out of the inning? You get a power hitter like Mike Napoli to pop it up. You think you're done? You're going to go to the bench, see if the offense can get it going again. All of a sudden you look up, score's tied.
So in this inning, he's now given up 2 walks and the high pop fly triple and lost the lead. Sometimes things just don't go your way out there on the mound. Did you know that, Ruben?
Well, maybe a few times. Pretty much every time I took the mound. Boy, Trevor Bell's pretty solid. The mistake he made was that changeup, although it wasn't located bad as far as the height, it was over the middle part of the plate against Carlos Pena. Hit that one out.
Gary Matthews batting now, 1st and 3rd, 2 out. Matthews 0 for 1 with a ground ball to first base today. Comes up empty on that big swing. Napoli's at 3rd with Kendrick at 1st now. One and 1 to Gary Matthews.
Well, that's a big curveball that Neiman will throw. We'll even the count. Gary Matthews Jr. likes to hit that fastball. Neiman's got a good one, likes to throw it a lot. Percentage-wise in his game, he's thrown about 75 to 80% of his pitches have been fastballs.
One and 1 to Matthews. There goes Kendrick, and Navarro will not throw it down there. Two runners in scoring position.
Real good jump. Curveball, no chance for Navarro to throw out Howie Kendrick. Wise decision not even to throw that.
And a 2-1 count to Matthews. Three and 1 with Willits on deck. Neiman hasn't been quite the same since the missed pop fly.
If he walks Matthews here, it'll be his 3rd walk of the inning. He had 3 strikeouts and no walks.
His 27th pitch of the inning coming up. And he walks Gary Matthews. 3 walks in the inning. The bases are loaded. And Reggie Willits coming up. Carl Crawford still probably thinking about that sky-high pop fly that got away. And Bartlett couldn't get it either.
All that communication. You're going back on a pop-up. You always look for your outfielder to make the play. It's an easier play for an outfielder coming in as compared to an infielder going back. You see Carl still looking up in that sky. Very difficult to pick up once you take the eye off the baseball.
Last night, Reggie Willits hit one back up the middle to drive in 2 runs. It was a big hit at the time. And right now, with the bases loaded, Napoli, Kendrick, and Matthews on the base paths for the Angels.
If you're Reggie Willits right here, Neiman having a tough time finding the play. And let's just pitch this right down the middle. You might as well take a pitch. His mechanics are out of whack right now.
Reggie last night with a big hit to break open the game.
It's a good approach. Going right up the middle with that one. Drove in 2 runs.
One ball, 1 strike to Willits. He took a couple of strikes. Now it's 1-2.
Now you got to get in protect mode if you're a hitter. Think, shorten up your swing, just put the ball in play. Don't waste an opportunity like this.
Reggie's always been pretty good at hanging in there with 2 strikes.
Similar to Bobby Abreu. Could be 1-2, 0-2. Next time you look up, it'll be 3-2.
Abreu's made a great living doing just that. And now it is 2-2 to Reggie Willits.
Nice job of laying off that curveball too. Thought about going after that pitch. A real good curveball, but in the dirt evens up the count for him.
In the air to center field, back on the ball, Gabe Kapler makes the catch. So the Angels tie the game, but they leave the bases loaded in the 4th inning. Bell has given up just the 2-run home run to Carlos Pena. That was the only run scoring hit. The Rays have had 5 hits total in the game. Diana Navarro leads off the 5th.
Well, Trevor doesn't waste a lot of time to grab that baseball and attack the strike zone, that's for sure.
That's a great trait. We've seen what it does for Santana when he's in that mode.
It's wasted energy walking around, worrying about what pitch to throw. Just trust your catcher. You have those meetings before a game to determine how you're going to pitch to every one of these batters. So just go after that and stay with the game plan.
High pop fly on the infield off the bat of Navarro. 1 out. Fans, enter for your chance to win great prizes with the Angels Summer Series presented by AT&T. Winners will receive 4 tickets for the Angels-Yankee game on September 21st through the 23rd. Pre-game visit, $150 in Angels bucks, and much more. And you can enter now by texting VIP to 6521 from your wireless AT&T phone, or go online at att.angelsbaseball.com. You must enter by September 14th. One ball, one strike now to Gabe Kapler.
Trevor ahead of the count here, an opportunity to be able to throw that slider off the outside part of the plate. Kapler pretty quick on that fastball there, fouled it straight back.
1-2, the count to Kapler. Trevor Bell making his major league debut, and it's been a year where Mike Scioscia's had to go to some rookies on the mound.
He's had 24 pitchers, 11 of them rookies. 5 rookie starters, 13 on the season, yet here the Angels are in 5 games up.
Right.
You mentioned it before, Roy. I'm right with you. Mike Scioscia, this is his best job he's ever has done as a manager. That includes 2002 when they won the World Series.
Kapler goes down swinging, a strikeout for Bell. Second time he's gotten Kapler.
A slider on the outside part of the plate. Good break to that slider. Kapler had been on that fastball, fouled the changeup back, but that time he got the slider and hit the corner. It's a strikeout.
3 strikeouts for Trevor Bell.
Pretty solid numbers, too, as far as 58 pitches thrown here with 2 outs in the 5th inning. That's solid.
And a base hit into center field by Jason Bartlett. Matthews misplays that one. Bartlett gets into scoring position. So we'll see now if the Rays can cash in on a break.
Bartlett, a couple good swings the last 2 times up against Trevor Bell. Gary just took the eye off the baseball, got underneath his glove. Now the tough hitter now, and Carl Crawford with Bartlett in scoring position.
Trevor Bell actually with 4 strikeouts now as Carl Crawford steps in. To Crawford. He had a single his first time up today. Now 3-0 to Crawford with Longoria on deck.
You think sometimes with a left-handed batter up, you have an open base. That's why you're more careful. But when you have Longoria on deck, I don't think that's the case. It'll be an attack in this hitter.
Crawford walks on 4 pitches. That was the first time Bell had gone to 3-ball count on anybody. So obviously his first walk of the day. And with Longoria coming up, Butcher wants to talk to him.
Just to refocus him after that. And a lot of times when you throw 4 pitches out of the zone like Trevor Bell did, it becomes muscle memory. So it's a good idea just to have a little breather, step off the mound, get your mechanics back in order, because you have a tough hitter here coming up of Evan Longoria with all that power. 24 home runs, 84 RBI. The Rays are starting to see Trevor Bell a little more consistently. First time through, there's 2 hits, no runs. Next time through the order in which they've seen him a few more times, know his tendencies. There's 3 hits and 2 runs. So they made some adjustments. The Rays, now it's up 2. Trevor made the adjustment himself.
And get a big out right here. Longoria 1 for 2 with a single. This guy drives in runs, Gooby.
Second is behind Justin Morneau of the Minnesota Twins, who has 91. Tied with Mark Teixeira. Good power the other way also.
One and one. Two on, 2 out. Well, tough spot right here for Trevor Bell. He's 2-1 to Longoria. Carlos Pena, who homered off of Ben Zobrist rather, is on deck. Pena after that, but this is a tough spot right here for Bell with 2 on and 2 out.
This one is a good time to be able to throw an all-speed pitch here in a fastball count.
Just past Ibar into left field. That will get a run in, and the Rays take the lead. Ibar tried to save the run by at least knocking the ball down, but it was just out of his reach. 3-2.
When you get those fastball counts in an RBI machine like Evan Longoria, you're not going to make that mistake. The fastball on the outside part of the plate. A good swing at it, and Ibar made every effort possible to knock that one down. That's what you're trying to do in that position if you're an infielder. Just knock it down. You love to be able to get the out, but you also just love to be able to keep the guy from scoring. He made the effort. Ball was just hit too hard.
Now Zobrist steps in. Zobrist 0 for 2, lined out to center field and struck out. So a little bit of a long inning here for Trevor Bell. After retiring the first 2 batters in the inning. Gary Matthews' error is not what caused that run to score because of the walk after it, but you always like to watch how a young pitcher reacts after an error has been made behind them, don't you?
Yeah, you want to see what kind of, they have their shoulders, their eyes, the look they have after that. You got to just forget about it. Pick up your teammate in that particular play. But 2 young pitchers, a couple plays in the field, one result in a run for the Angels, and Neiman walked a few batters after that, and then also a walk after that play in the field by Gary Matthews Jr.
Here's the 22nd pitch of the inning, and the runners were going, but it's fouled off. And right now pitching to Zobrist, the Rays with Pena on deck, who homered last time out.
That ball got home plate umpire Mike Riley behind the plate. Napoli would assist keeping him up on that one. That got him square.
One ball, 2 strikes to Zobrist. On the ground to Ibar at shortstop. He'll step on the bag, and that will retire the side. But the Rays score a run, and they lead it 3-2 in the 5th. and have Sean Figgins leading off the 5th inning. Fans, join the Angels and the Baseball Tomorrow Fund for their 4th annual equipment drive on Saturday, August 29th. Bring any new or used gloves, bats, or balls to the bins located at gates 1, 4, and the home plate gate. The first 1,000 fans who donate equipment or make a $10 donation will receive a Bobby Abreu 2000 Hits commemorative pin. All proceeds benefit the Northeast Garden Grove and Rosita Little Leagues. For more information, check angelsbaseball.com.
It's a nice thing to be able to do, especially in these times right now.
Sean Figgins looks at one a little bit low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Figgy.
Sean Figgins, so important to this offense. On base, steal bag, get in scoring position.
Drag bunt by Figgy. Neiman dives for it. Base hit for Figgins. The second drag bunt single by an Angel today.
Neiman all 6'9" to that frame, tried to make that play. Great bunt. Howard's Exmo shows. High pitch, which is always a difficult pitch to be able to get down on the ground as far as bunting. Been almost able to make the play, but that speed of Sean Figgins, no chance even if he comes cleanly with that baseball.
So Figgy on base again. That's his 2nd hit of the afternoon. And now Eric Ibar 1 for 2. He also has a drag bunt single today.
For Sean Figgins to try to steal a base early in the count here too.
He was trying to get off to a walking lead right there before Neiman drove him back. Ibar pops one up foul, out of play.
The thing is now Neiman gets ahead of the count 0-1. Joe Madden, the manager for the Rays, can put a pitch out on now. Sean Figgins got to be aware of that too. A lot of times a pitcher will tip when he's going to have a pitch out. He'll go do something different, go quicker to the plate. A smart pitcher will always try to keep the same routine. Don't give away that you're going to have a pitch out on.
Figgy back in easily. Figgins stole a base back in the 3rd inning. Representing the potential tying run here in the 5th inning. Figgins started to go, but the Rays did pitch out.
You can see the slide step, and that tipped Sean Figgins off. He was going to go. He had a big lead, but he saw that Jeff Neiman did something different. That's why he didn't go. The pitch out was unsuccessful.
So it's 1-1 now to Ibar. They're determined to keep Figgins as close as they can. With Figgins on base and Ibar at the plate, this is a pretty tough combo to get a double play against, isn't it?
Especially with Ibar hitting for the left side too, and this time switch hitter batting left against the right-handed pitcher, so you get down there that much quicker to first.
They pitched out again, but Figgy read it right, and it's 2-1 now to Ibar. Madden's trying to stop the running game he used to love watching with Figgins on base.
Mike Soch is one of the few managers will put back-to-back pitch outs on, and Joe Madden watched him for all those years. sensed that would be the time that Sean Figgins would go, but at this spot for sure, if he gets a good enough lead, he'll be going.
Good lead. And Neiman picks him off. Figgins got off to a big lead, Gooby. It turns out a little too big.
Well, he was trying to get his momentum going. You see him going in that spot. He was definitely going. Leaning towards second base. Tried to get his hand in there, but a quick tag by Carlos Pena gets him. Our XMO replay shows for sure the tag was applied before the fingers got in on the base.
Big out for Neiman. And one less thing to worry about for sure.
Well, really big after you wasted 2 pitches on pitch outs, so you were behind in the count. His first career pickoff. He does have some quick footwork for a tall pitcher like that. It shortens up his throw to first base.
Now it's 2-2 to Ibar, who grounds one to shortstop. 2 outs in the inning. Bobby Abreu coming up to face Neiman now. Abreu 0 for 2 today, lined out to second, hit a fly ball to center field. Strike 1 to Abreu. In 11 innings today, the Yankees won their game. They beat Toronto 4-3. Abreu hits a fly ball into left field. Carl Crawford sees that one apparently. Yep, he makes the catch. After 5 innings, the Rays with a 1-run lead.
Evan Longoria trying to steal the bag at second. His hand, after he got in there, slipped off. Look at that. Could have been called out. He ended up scoring the run, and the Rays were up by 1. So the Coors Light freeze can, brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light, could have been a difference maker if they called him out.
It's a 1-run ball game here in the 6th inning. Carlos Pena hit a 2-run home run last time up against Trevor Bell. So Pena now has 30 home runs, even though he's hitting only .214. And he drives one here into right center field. Matthews goes way back on that ball, and that's another home run for Carlos Pena. Wow. His second of the day. And the Rays go ahead 4-2. You know, Pena, we mentioned he's hitting just .214, but that's his 31st home run. 35% of his hits are home runs.
Pitch again, middle part of the plate. Look at a slider on that pitch. He squares at the baseball so well. Doesn't waste a lot of movement in his swing.
Matt Burrow grounds out to second base. Meanwhile, Jason Bolger gets up in the Angel bullpen now. Trevor Bell has pitched into the 6th inning, and if not for Carlos Pena, he'd be doing a lot better.
Wait, a changeup out. Nice hit, a curveball out of the ballpark today. 31st home run of the season. Just crushing. Again, when you look at your power guys, you love to see them at 300, but it's what you do as far as run production. Now with 77 RBIs and 31 home runs.
And there's a shot into left field for a base hit by Gabe Gross. So Gross with 2 hits tonight.
Trevor Bell, a lot of first pitch swinging now for the Rays, and Mike Scioscia is going to come out. Maybe it for Trevor here in this spot. It's been pretty solid so far.
What do you give him? Scale of 1 to 10 for his major league debut?
I have to give him about an 8. I mean, I thought he threw the ball very well, threw a lot of strikes. Just facing a tough team. 143 home runs as a team coming into this game.
So his debut is in the books. He pitched well. He comes off the field in the 6th inning. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Boy, this game has been fun to watch. Trevor Bell, hopefully he doesn't feel too bad about his first outing, but that'll be Butcher and Scioscia's job to point out all the things he did well today.
4 strikeouts at 5 1/3 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. But I thought he did a great job as far as getting ahead of the count.
Jason Bolger is in to relieve him, with Diana Navarro at the plate. 1 out, 1 on for the Rays.
With that 4-1 record, ERA now keeps going down and down. His important role for Mike Scioscia, that 93 to 95 on the fastball. Great curveball and slider and a changeup.
2 balls and no strikes to Diana Navarro, hitting .220. 7 home runs. Bolger falls behind 3-0. The big hit in the inning, a Carlos Pena home run. He's driven in 3 of the 4 runs for Tampa Bay so far today. Ball 4 in the dirt. Bolger fell off the mound, but that was, I think, because he saw it out of the corner of his eye. Gabe Gross was running on the 3-0 pitch, but it's ball 4 anyway.
That's kind of a gutsy call there to go on that pitch. 3-0 pitch. If that's a strike and they can throw him out, that's a gift out. But instead it'll be first and second now with 1 out. Stumbled. Again, when you come into the game out of the bullpen after the starting pitcher's been out there, to landing hole in front of the mound, different than when your landing spot's going to be. And sometimes you'll see a pitcher stumble before he gets used to that. See the spot right there. That's where it is right there, the landing spot of Trevor Bell. And of course, Jeff Neiman, tall like Jason Bolger.
Gabe Kapler takes outside for ball 1. So Bolger, who has been pretty sharp here the last month or so. First 5 pitches miss in this outing. And now he's 2-0 to Kapler.
Like what you're going to come out to talk to Jason Bolger right now. Can't let this game get away from you.
6 pitches, no strikes. That's only a 2-run game, 4-2 Rays in the 6th.
Well, he's also talking about his mechanics, and the reason why you're throwing pitches out of the strike zone is your mechanics aren't in tune as far as what you were throwing down in the bullpen. So Mike Butcher's saying, hey, listen, let's get a strike here. Just try to keep it down in the knees, get a ground ball. Kapler's hitting the 3 double plays this season already. If you get a ground ball center and infielder, we get through the inning, we still have a chance in this ball game.
But in the meantime, they'll get Darren Oliver ready. The count 2-0 to Gabe Kapler. Now 3-0. The first strike Bolger has thrown. You couldn't possibly swing there if you were Kapler, could you?
No way, not in that spot, especially when you're hitting 9th in the lineup, regardless if you have power or not.
He swings 3-1 and bounces one to third. Figgin steps on the bag and turns it into a double play. So the Rays get just the 1 run and lead it 4-2. much better day, Gooby.
Well, Carlos Pena has that good uppercut swing, that changeup he hits out, then the slider out over the plate hits it when the right center field. So he has definitely been pursuing perfection with that home run cut today.
Driving in 3 of the Rays' 4 runs so far as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tampa Bay 4 runs on 9 hits. The Angels 2 runs on 5 hits off of Jeff Neiman. What a nice day for a baseball game. Some of the fans come out for the day game just as we walk in early in the day and see them in the parking lot. They're all excited about going to see day baseball.
Boy, as a fan, I always love day game baseball, even more so than at night. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's what it's all about. As a kid, you always play Little League baseball in the day. I wish they would come back and maybe mix in a day game in the World Series.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Probably won't happen, but it sure would be nice. Vlad Guerrero, the batter. He leads off the bottom of the 6th inning. Vladdy's drawn a blank today. He's 0 for 2. After blasting out his 400th Monday. One and one to Guerrero. John Lackey and Sean O'Sullivan with Mike Butcher.
Anytime you have your pitch coach around, there's always an opportunity to learn something during the course of a game. Just who has some young pitchers like Sean O'Sullivan gets a chance to talk to Mike Butcher, John Lackey. It's a great learning tool.
Two and two to Vladdy. That's a foul ball. They're going to give Vladdy a second to shake that one off a little bit.
Vlad, that's one thing Vlad does quite often is foul the baseball off that foot.
That's not something you want to be real good at.
No, because he swings a lot of pitches that are off the plate and in. When you turn on that one, you're going to hit one off your foot a number of times, and that's what you saw with Vlad in that particular swing.
Friday, the Angels and Orioles. Weaver will be on the mound for the Angels, Tillman for the Orioles. And we'll have it right here on Fox Sports. Fox Sports West. 3 and 2 now to Vlad, who strikes out. Foul tipped the ball into the glove of Navarro.
He came in with a fastball. Wanted on the outside corner. Navarro did, but that fastball ran inside and got by Vlad at 93 miles an hour.
One out. Kendry Morales steps in. That pitch had Kendry fooled.
Blade, you haven't seen Kendry have a swing like that in a long time, but that curveball, he throws that pitch and stays on top. That's a devastating curveball.
One and one to Kendry Morales.
Look at key points of the game. Jeff Neiman picking off Sean Figgins after Joe Madden put back-to-back pitch outs on, put him behind an account 2-1. Then a quick move to first, get Sean Figgins. That changed that whole inning around.
Sure did. Base hit for Kendry. He's on base for the second time today. 1 out, 1 on for Mike Napoli now.
Looked like a slider this time. It got a lot of the zone. Kennedy was able to get the bat head up there and drive it in the right field for a base hit. Not located where Neiman wanted to throw that breaking pitch. But Kennedy made him pay. And now got the batting average over 300 at 302 on the season.
Napoli hovering right around there. He's at 296. And it was Napoli who had the sky-high fly ball triple his last time up. And it was Carl Crawford who was trying to see that baseball way up there. The shortstop Bartlett had a shot at it. Neither one of them caught it. Napoli pops this ball up, and I mean it's a mile high.
It's amazing to be able to, with our camera work, be able to pick that one up. The last second, Carl Crawford tried to make that play, but unable to do so.
Here's pitch number 100 from Neiman. The Rays should have plenty of guys available in the bullpen. They're carrying 13 pitchers.
With that fourth inning, which he threw 33, and even the third with 22. This could be his last batter.
2-1 to Mike Napoli. Ground ball up the middle, base hit for Napoli. And the Angels have 2 men on with 1 out in the 6th. Back-to-back singles by Morales and Napoli.
It's a nice swing by Napoli. Fastball, and not located by Neiman. Bill Manning coming out to the mound right now. He is going to go down to the bullpen.
He's going to come get him. So Neiman will come out in the 6th. Grant Balfour will come in from the Tampa Bay bullpen with the Angels down by 2, but they have the tying run on base. 4-2 Tampa in the 6th. California Ford dealers. See what's new at scforddealers.com. And by Jack in the Box. Right now, get the $2.99 big deal featuring a cheeseburger, a taco, small fries, and a small drink for just $2.99. The Rays lead at 4-2 in the 6th inning. The Angels are threatening. They've knocked Jeff Neiman out of the ball game. He pitched well. He can't lose it. He'll either win or have nothing to do with it.
Grant Balfour with a very good fastball coming in the game after that solid job by Neiman. 4-1 record, ERA 4.47, throws 91 to 96. That's his out pitch. Also will throw a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. But he likes to challenge hitters with that fastball.
The Angels have Morales at second base, Napoli at first. And Balfour on the mound for Tampa Bay, pitching to Howie Kendrick. Grant Balfour, 31 years old, born in Sydney, Australia, and still lives in Australia. Snap throw to first base. Napoli gets back in there.
How quick is Carlos Pena with that tag, too? The Gold Glover. First ever for the Tampa Bay Rays to win a Gold Glove. Just quick hands. He got a lot closer than you thought.
Two and 0 to Kendrick. The Angels have Gary Matthews waiting on deck.
Well, that was a good 2-0 fastball to swing at by Howie Kendrick. He fouled that one straight back.
They used Balfour in the postseason last year, 10 different games. But he falls behind on Kendrick right here, 3-1. One out, 2 men on. And Howie pops one up. Shallow right field. Gabe Gross is in to make the catch. And the runners will have to stay put. Howie had a good hitter's count, 3-1, but missed that one.
Just got underneath it. That's his approach, to go the other way, go inside out with the swing. He got underneath the pitch and fly ball to right field.
2 outs for Matthews. Gary has grounded out and walked today.
Grant Balfour loves that fastball.
So does Matthews.
Good matchup for Gary Matthews Jr. A guy that relies so much on trying to get you out with that fastball. Gary likes to hit that, especially from the left side of the plate.
One and 0. This has been a good situation for Matthews. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. And his numbers are startling. He's hitting 94 points higher from the left side. And he drives one into right field. That sends Gross way back to the track. And Gary Matthews has hit it out. The Angels take the lead. Third home run of the year for Gary Matthews, 5-4 Angels.
Boy, we just showed that graphic how well Gary Matthews hits. The 2 outs and runners in scoring position, responds once again. Clutch situation. Puts the Halos to lead with that best play in baseball, a 3-run homer.
And he gets the rookie Trevor Bell off the hook. He will not get a decision today. Either will Neiman. There wasn't much doubt about it when it left the bat.
Well, he knew it. Perfect swing. Expo replay shows that. Good balance. Centered up the baseball. Long swing. Covered it out. But his team's amazing. Each and every night, someone else steps forward. This time, Gary Matthews Jr. hits the 3-run home run to give the Angels the lead.
What a resilient ball club this has been. Two and one to Reggie Willits. The Angels just find a way. Today they start a pitcher who's never started in the big leagues. He does well, but he leaves losing. But instead of just saying, well, we pitched well, we couldn't win the ball game, the Angels come back.
Mike Scioscia again gave Gary Matthews Jr. the day off to recharge his batters. He had started 28 straight games in center field. What's he do? He responds with a 3-run homer.
Joe Madden loved this place as an Angel coach. He hates it now.
I think he can't wait to get out of here, knowing he's not coming back the rest of the season.
Two and two to Willits. Full count to Reggie. Ground ball to second base. The Angels are gone in the 6th, but the 3-run shot by Gary Matthews has given the Halos the lead.
Great swing, way out the right center for a 3-run homer. And what an at-bat. Key situation.
There's a shot by Jason Bartlett into left field. That one is over Willits' head, and it bangs off the fence. So on the first pitch of the 7th inning, Jason Bartlett comes right back with a double off the fence and left.
Like Bartlett, it was 3rd hit of the game. Jumped all over this first pitch. Fastball elevated. It's a rocket off the wall, not too far away from the 387 sign. I'll tell you what, how impressive was Urban Santana last night to get those type of swings against Bartlett. First day almost hit for the cycle, then today 3 more hits.
And Scioscia going to the bullpen once again in a tight ball game in the 7th inning. Chevy Sweet Seats, located on the field, almost right on the field, right next to third base. You can also get a chance to win an all-new Chevy Camaro. Text Camaro to 31826 or go to angelsbaseball.com/Camaro. Sit in the Chevy Sweet Seats and get a chance to win a sweet ride. Chevy is the official ride of Angels baseball.
Sean Figgins went over to Darren Oliver there to make sure they communicate in that spot, because Carl Crawford, a lot of speed. He's facing a left-handed batter and left-handed pitcher. He's 4-0, Darren Oliver, with a great ERA, 3.11. Crawford maybe have to be able to put himself in position to bunt. Both corner infielders up.
It's not a sure thing you're going to throw Crawford out either. He didn't show the bunt there. Kevin Jepson and Jose Arredondo up in the Angel bullpen. Tight ball game, 4-3, or 5-4 rather, Angels in the 7th, and Randy Choate gets up for the Rays. So Mike Scioscia and Joe Madden have the wheels spinning here in this one. One-run game.
Both teams battling to get back to the postseason. This has a playoff type of field today.
Figgins up on the grass at third. 1-1 to Crawford. And there was never a thought in Carl's mind that he was going to bunt that time.
Thought process behind that, on the road, play for the tie. Try to have a big inning situation. Don't want to give up and out.
Strike three. Darren Oliver gets Carl Crawford looking. Big out right there for Oliver.
Boy, what a perfect spot. Fastball on the inside corner. Paints it. It's that big strikeout. Keep that runner at second now with one out.
And now a powerful right-handed hitter coming up, Longoria. So Butcher's back out there to talk to Darren Oliver.
And on deck you have Ben Zobrist, a switch hitter, and then Carlos Pena following him. I think, well, why didn't you go to a right-handed pitcher against this right-handed power hitter? But you have two lefties possibly coming up after that. You do have an open base.
Well, as a pitcher, I know that you've never liked the "don't give him anything good to hit" instruction.
Well, I just assume at that spot, if you're not going to try to, here we go, you're going to walk him in this spot. That's the proper thing to do.
Yep, they're going to walk him intentionally, so they're not even going to take a chance. They'll pitch to Ben Zobrist instead, with runners at first and second and one out.
Yeah, I was never a big believer in there. Don't give him anything good to hit, because inevitably you're planting a negative thought in your mind and you make that mistake. So Mike Scioscia took that equation away from Darren Oliver, just decided to walk and see if he can get Ben Zobrist hitting with a double play.
Two men on with one out now for the Rays. Five to 4 Angels. 10 hits in the game for Tampa Bay. 8 for the Angels. And Zobrist 0 for 3. But with 19 home runs on the year. Oliver starts him with a breaking ball for a strike.
It's been a great series. First game close. Yesterday's game was very close until the Angels offense responded. Irvin Santana was a story last night with that 3-hit shutout.
Just off the plate. Fans were buzzing about that shutout by Irvin last night, saying, "Oh, is he back? He looked like he did last year." There was some excitement in the ballpark.
Well, how about that pitch to end the game last night? A 6th strikeout, that slider to finish it off. Outstanding.
1-2 now to Zobrist.
Darren Oliver can hit his spots as well as anybody in the game. Wants to go that fastball to the outside corner, hits the spot. The fastball inside, he got Carl Crawford with. Very good location with his pitches.
Carlos Pena, who has already had a huge game with 2 home runs, is on deck. And he's going to bat now as Zobrist strikes out. Oliver strikes out the right-handed hitter Zobrist.
Good off-speed pitch, too, by Darren once again. He's ahead of the count, expanding zone. That good curveball in the dirt. Nice job by Mike Napoli behind the plate. Keep it in front. Great location, that pitch.
So here is Pena, who has homered twice today, has 31 on the year now, and is hitting just .216, but better than 35% of his hits are home runs.
Well, he's also struck out 141 times this season. So he's susceptible to that strikeout also.
Oliver has struck out Crawford and Zobrist. Fastball on the inside corner, 0-1.
Pitcher just, what you're trying to do there as a pitcher, just try to good grip on what pitch you're going to be able to throw here.
1-1 to Pena.
You move the baseball around to be able to sometimes, whether you're going with a 2-seam or a 4-seam fastball, just to get a good feel on the fingertips and also get yourself in position to be able to have the curveball grip.
Two out, 2 on for the Rays.
It's a fastball count now for Carlos Pena, who's had some good swings, but both of his home runs have one been on a changeup, the other on a slider today.
Two and 1 to Pena. Now 3-1. Meanwhile, a very tough right-handed hitter on deck, Pat Burrell.
More likely with Jepson and Arredondo down in the bullpen, both right-handed pitchers. Pat Burrell will be facing one of those two guys and not Darren Oliver.
Well, you have the choice of Arredondo if it does come to that, or Jepson. Jepson has much more of what we would call recency.
And that good 97-mile-an-hour fastball, cut fastball too, which is a very effective pitch against Pat Burrell, who does swing at sliders off the plate. More likely Mike Scioscia will go to Kevin Jepson in a spot, but you still have a chance to get through it if you can make a quality pitch against Carlos Pena.
It's 3-1 to Carlos. Strike 2. He went with the fastball away.
Painted on the outside corner. You talk about key moments of the game here. Now 3-2 count. Both runners will be going. Pena recognized the fastball coming. A pitch that he usually tries to go the other way. Tried to pull that one and missed it.
Bartlett at second. Longoria at first. They'll be running on the full count pitch from Darren Oliver. Pena hits a fly ball right field. Abreu flips the glasses down, goes back battling the sun, and makes the catch on the track. The Angels get out of the inning, and we get to the 7th inning stretch. 5-4 Angels. Sunshine here today, a day game at Angel Stadium.
Well, that was a nice confrontation, Darren Oliver versus Carlos Pena. Darren Oliver wins that battle. Randy Choate in the game for the Rays. 36 games, real good ERA at 2.21. Again, it's a bat deception for him, not overpowering. Mid-80s fastball, slider, and a changeup.
Bottom of the 7th, top of the order for the Angels. Figgy has 2 singles today. Randy Choate, veteran left-hander. We've seen some adventures with the high sky today. That fly ball that Pena hit, Abreu did a good job to find that when he flipped the glasses down, and he hung in there on that one.
Well, that was a tough play. It wasn't easy. That ball was hit high, too. Carlos Pena just got underneath that one, but job by Bobby Abreu to stay with it.
2-2 to Figgy.
It's got to be tough if you're a hitter against Randy Choate. He slings it from that sidearm delivery. Fastball run away from a right-hander off the outside corner. Then he keeps you honest with that slider that breaks inside.
Figgy has his 3rd hit of the ball game. How about the at-bat by Pena, Gooby?
Well, you mentioned Darren doesn't give in at all. Fastball, first pitch, first strike. Then a fastball off the outside corner, comes back again, tries to elevate the fastball to make him swing at it. then down. Now all of a sudden he's behind in the count. 3-1. There's a fastball in the corner. Then another fastball that ran inside. Boy, he looked at it and said, uh-oh, he might have got it.
He sure did.
Because he didn't get to the outside corner. The only pitch that Darren had not hit his spot with the whole time.
Eric Ibar around a bunt, missed it.
Well, that's great when you see that reaction. Your catcher thinking, uh-oh. And then your pitcher, same thing. They're all doing a little moonwalk backwards to see it, hope to keep that in the ballpark. And Bobby made the play right in front of the wall.
It's 0-1 to Ibar with Figgins at first base. And the Angels leading it by a run, 5-4 in the 7th. Figgins on base for the 3rd time.
We talked about Sean Figgins earlier and how great he is defensively this season, how many games he saved, but offensively, 304 batting average, leading the league in runs scored. He's up amongst the leaders in stolen bases and hits. Such an important part of this offense. Reason why they've been so good over the last 53 games, in which they were 38-15.
But then throw in the defense at the hot corner, and he's having a tremendous year.
Career high in walks, on base percentage. Phenomenal season for Sean Figgins.
It's 0-2 to Eric Ibar.
See how quick he is in this play. The do or die play. Feels it with the bare hand against a guy like Jason Bartlett, who runs very well. Set the tone early in the ball game. Scoop and throw. And a number of great plays in this series.
Ibar smacks it into left field. The Angels have runners at first and second with nobody out. Leading by 1 in the bottom of the 7th. Do you ask Abreu to lay one down here?
No. He's got to be swinging. He's your run producer with 77 RBIs. I know he's struggling somewhat of late as far as swinging, but guy's batting average with runners in scoring position, 422. He's got to be up there hacking. Jason Bartlett at 427. Of course, Joe Mauer, 394. Eric Ibar failed to get those two bunt attempts down, but gets a base hit.
So here's Abreu, whose overall batting average is at 310 right now. Great speed on the bases. Figgins at second, Ibar at first base for the Angels. Now 2-0 to Abreu.
The lefties only hit 205 against Randy Choate. Bobby Abreu is different than most left-handed batters. Doesn't fly open. He stays back and drives the ball very well the other way against lefties.
Now. Okay, so you didn't have him bunt. Now do you let him swing 3-0?
I haven't seen Bobby swing 3-0 yet. He's a member of the Angels, so I would assume he's not swinging. He's comfortable swinging the same exact pitch, 3-1.
Vladdy is on deck. Still no swing, 3-0. Bobby has stated flat out, I like to see a minimum of 5 or 6 pitches per at bat.
And just because he's in a good fastball count, 3-1, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to expand his zone here either. He's going to center a spot where he can drive the ball and put some damage on this baseball.
He does swing 3-1 and bounces out to first base. But the runners move up to second and third.
Well, it worked out as good as a bunt in that spot. Chopper gets the runners in scoring position for Big Daddy Vladdy.
We'll see if they pitch to Big Daddy Vladdy. Second and third, 1 out. Judging by Navarro still standing up behind the plate, probably not. Nope, they're going to walk him.
Well, there was a time there was no chance that anybody would face Vlad in this spot, but we've seen it over the last year, so they will go after him on occasion. Joe Madden knows Vladdy all too well.
Joe Madden has too many thoughts in that memory bank of Vlad Guerrero in these situations.
Exactly, especially that 13-game hit streak. He's been hitting the ball well. He's got 4 home runs since coming back from the DL. Joe was not going to give Vlad a chance for the Angels to expand that lead.
So the Angels now have the bases loaded for Kendry Morales. And a real chance here to break the game wide open in the 7th inning. Figgins is at third, Ibar's at second, Vladdy's at first. And Randy Choate ready to pitch to the pinch hitter, Kendry Morales.
Well, they're letting
the switch hitter, I meant to say.
Yeah, they're letting the bat. That's why Joe Madden walked Vlad there, because they're going to let Kendry Morales bat from the right side where he's 258 as compared to 313.
Bases loaded, 1 out. 0-1. We've had 20 hits in this game. Both teams have 10. But the Angels have 1 more in the run column. Choate jumps ahead.
Now Kenny's got to just shorten up the swing. Think go the other way. Got 2 options. Randy Choate will throw that slider down and in to try to get Kenny to swing over top of it, or try to go to the outside corner with some sink action.
Oh-2 to Kendry Morales. Kendrick caught that one off his foot.
On Monday, he had that big game in which he had 2 home runs. Right center down the right field line. And he had a single in there also.
Kendry was trying to walk it off. He fouled that last one off his foot, but now athletic trainer Adam Neville wants to make sure he's okay.
That off day is going to come in handy for the club tomorrow.
Yeah, just a leisurely 5-hour flight.
That's it. Wow, right off the inside part of the foot.
No balls, 2 strikes to Kendry Morales. Napoli is on deck. The Angels leading 5-4 and trying to get a little breathing room here.
Kenny trying to get a pitch up in the strike zone, at the very least hit a fly ball to get that run across with that speed down at third base with Sean Figgins.
Figgy will be taking off at the crack of the bat that's hit on the ground. Foul ball.
Pretty good battle here. Randy Choate's trying to keep the ball down to try to get a ground ball and or a strikeout. And Kenny trying to get a pitch elevated to be able to hit a fly ball.
One ball, two strikes. Choate keeps making his pitch. Kendrick keeps getting a piece of it.
More pitches a pitcher will throw, and the more chances are he's going to make a mistake at some point. Now it's going to be up to, after this good battle by Kendrick, fighting all some tough pitches. When Choate does make a mistake, he capitalized on it.
One ball, two strikes. Bases loaded. Well, this has been quite a battle between these two guys.
Well, these are some tough pitches that Kendrick keeps fouling off. Again, when you're behind in the count, it gets 1-2. You can't afford to take a pitch, a borderline pitch. You're going to have to try to foul it off.
This is the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Coming up to Kendry Morales.
The Angels, the only team in the major leagues without a grand slam this season. Mickey goes, all right, we made him aware of that one too, not too long ago. But he says, hey, we're scoring enough runs. We don't need the grand slam.
Another foul ball. That one had Figgy a little worried over there.
Talk about how quick his reflexes in that reactionary position playing third base. Well, he needed that running.
Yeah, he plays third base, but he's out there without a glove right now.
Wow.
He's not very far away from Kendry.
No. I'll give you an extra heartbeat here and there.
Pitch number 9 to Morales. Another foul ball.
I have no idea how he found that one. That was a perfect pitch. That was off the plate, about 6 inches above the plate. That's amazing just to be able to foul it. Look how far he had to reach, Kendry did, to be able to foul that one off.
The 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And the 28th of the inning for Randy Choate. Neither man wants to give an inch. It is a 5-4 game in the 7th inning. Another foul ball. Well, at some point this battle will end, but both guys have been brilliant here.
We talked about a pitcher at some point will make a mistake. So far, Randy Choate has not made any mistakes in all these pitches. These 10 pitches to Kendry Morales.
If he gets him, would he have anything left for Napoli?
That's that letdown theory. A lot of times you get that key out, then all of a sudden you lose your focus for a second. That's when you're a guy on deck, that fastball and jump all over it. If he ever gets there.
Wow. And you know, there's only one ball and 2 strikes. He has thrown every pitch he has to try to put Kendry away. Now the crowd is getting involved in this matchup. Finally, a ground ball in the hole at shortstop, and the ball is thrown away. That's going to score 2 runs. The Angels get 2, and who would have ever thought it would end that way? Not Madden.
But that's the only play Jason Bartlett had, was to throw the ball to third base. What an at-bat by Kenny. At the very least, he was getting that run across. Fought off some incredibly tough pitches and did his job. The ball's hitting the hole. No way they're going to be able to get it at first. No way they get a double play. The only play that Bartlett had was try to throw and get the forced play at third, but throws it wide from Evan Longoria. So 2-run score. 12
pitches in the at-bat. It forces Madden to go to the bullpen again. And the Angels have a 7-4 lead in the 7th inning.
Great job by Kenny Morales, giving those extra runs.
Run would have scored anyway. Randy Choate comes out of the ball game after that monumental battle with Kendry, and Dan Wheeler takes over for the Rays.
We are 3-3 with a 3.48, 1 save on the season. Fastball 89 to 92. He's got a curveball, below average curveball, his changeup, pretty good split finger fastball.
Second and third now with 1 out, and Napoli up there. They did not give Morales a hit. It's a straight error on the shortstop Bartlett.
When this chopper here did a pull with shortstop, Bartlett did everything he could. Nice play to be able to even get leather on that. Makes that throw over. I'm not so sure they get him at third anyhow.
Would have been close.
They did get that extra run when that ball went away by the Angels dugout.
There has to be an error charge there, and there was. The only question is whether you maybe could have given Kendry a hit. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Mike Napoli. The infield in for the Rays. You can't blame the 2 runs really on Randy Choate. He made so many good pitches to Kendry Morales and yet could never quite get him.
Got to give all the credit in the world to Kendry Morales, his at bat. You can't throw more perfect pitches than Choate did to Kendry Morales. Expanded the strike zone to him, made him try to swing at pitches out of the zone, and he kept hitting his spot, but Kendry just kept fouling him off. What a year he's having.
Fastball just off the plate, 2-2 to Napoli. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground to Longoria. He comes home with it. And now Vladdy's in a rundown between third and home. He'll be tagged out by Navarro. So with the contact play on, the out is made on Guerrero.
So the Rays did a nice job as far as the rundown. Want to make the least amount of throws as possible. Vargas running Vlad right back to the base, applied the tag. Kenny was able to go over to third, but Mike Napoli had to stay at first base because they did a good job as far as not too many throws and getting too long of a rundown.
Now they have changed the call, Gooby, on the Morales at bat and given him a single. Of course, there is still an error because they throw at the second run score, but it's a single and an error.
I think that's the right call. So I don't think they get Ibar at third base, and they're certainly not going to get Kenny Morales at first base on that chopper into the hole at shortstop.
Howie Kendrick up there now 1-0 with runners on the corners and 2 outs. It's been a long, long inning. One and one to Howie. There's a drive in the left field by Howie Kendrick and deep, and that ball is gone. Howie Kendrick. A 3-run shot, and the Angels begin to put it away.
Boy, how quick were Howie Kendrick's hands on that one. Hit that way out into left field. Randy Cho looking on. Boy, a fastball was supposed to be on the outside part of the plate, but the inside, and look how quick those hands were for Howie. Oh, got out in a hurry and far.
And all of a sudden, a 1-run ball game turns into 10-4 Angels. First pitch inside to Matthews.
The Angels may not have hit a grand slam in this inning, but it's their second 3-run home run of the game. I'm sure Joe Maddon's looking forward to getting out of here. He loves it. He loves Southern California. But he doesn't like managing here, that's for sure.
No, and his team has not performed well on the road this year. When they get back to that dome, they're pretty good. 36-18 on the year. Matthews hits a high pop fly on the infield. It's the second baseman, Zobrist, to make the catch, but the Angels put 5 runs on the board. 10-4 going to the 8th. 3-run shot by Howie Kendrick, opening up a 6-run lead for the Angels. If you can't watch the Angels on Fox Sports West or KCOP, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv, the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer. And catch those you missed on demand. Visit angelsbaseball.com, where baseball is always on. Jose Arredondo in the game now. Boy, when you add up the pitches in that bottom of the 7th, Gooby, with Randy Choate throwing 30 pitches. All in all, there were 41 pitches made by the Rays. And I think about 39 of them were to Kendry Morales. There's a drive deep to left by Pat Burrell, and that one's in the bullpen. So Arredondo comes in with a 6-run lead, and the first batter he faces homers.
It's the first hit of the series for Pat Burrell. Hasn't had a lot of success against the Angels in his career. He's been hitting 115, as a matter of fact, for that home run. Fastball inside part of the plate, turns on it. Day game baseball, the ball will fly out of here.
Now Gabe Gross at the plate for Tampa Bay. Gross has had a good day with a couple of hits. Single and a double today. Check swing will cost him a strike, and it's 0-2.
Look for Jose is getting that velocity back in the fastball to set up that split finger fastball. Last year when he was so dominant at that 10-2 mark with an ERA at 1.62 in 52 games, he was using that fastball at 95, 96 and finished off the batters with the split finger. He hasn't had that velocity on a consistent basis this year.
Check swing bouncer to shortstop. Ibar charges it and gets it.
With that strong arm too, was able to come in and make that play, and on the move still. Gabe Gross runs very well. Strong throw, quick throw. Gets him. Another solid defender. Mark's going to get a lot of votes too as far as the Gold Glove at the shortstop position.
Diana Navarro takes strike one. Jeff Bennett now warming up in the Tampa Bay bullpen. One ball, one strike to Navarro. This game started with the excitement of Trevor Bell's major league debut. Right now, that seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? Navarro strikes out.
There's certainly a lot of positives in that performance by Trevor Bell. Another good split finger here by Jose. Got on top of that pitch. Navarro, no chance.
And Trevor Bell went 5 1/3.
I'd like to see that too. He's out there in the dugout watching this game all the way through. A lot of times the pitcher, after he's out of the game, will ice his arm to sit in the clubhouse, but he's out there watching, rooting for his teammates to be able to pull off this victory.
This being his first big league game ever, probably not a bad idea to stick around and watch it. But here's how he did. He gave up 4 runs and made a lot of good pitches. Plus, he had great poise on the mound.
He did, and he was ahead of the count a number of times.
Carlos
six
Pena.
times 0-2.
Carlos Pena got him twice with home runs. Two and one here to Gabe Kapler.
A smart decision on Trevor's mind there to be able to sit next to John Lackey, veteran of the staff. Chance to talk to him, learn some things. Obviously, the butterflies and the nerves were going early in the game, but he didn't show a whole lot of that. Very poised for a youngster.
Yeah, he really was. Did a great job. Came out in the first inning, gave up just a single. Second inning, he got him in order. Obviously, no decision. He did leave the game trailing today. It's 2-2 to Gabe Kapler. Here's the 8th pitch of this at-bat to Kapler. And the foul ball. The Rays with a run in the inning on Pat Burrell's home run. Nobody tracks the number of foul balls in a game, do they? But if they did, this game I think would be up there.
Certainly been a number of souvenirs.
37,859 here today.
Well, it is the last day of Break Out the Red, so getting a lot of souvenirs for all the fans that came today.
And finally, Kapler is called out on strikes. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 10-5 Angels. Lots of offense in this game. 10-5 Angels as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And the Angels now lead the American League in runs scored. They have 4 more than the Yankees now. Mickey Hatcher's team getting it done offensively.
We're going to promise not to interview Mickey about that subject, leading the American League in run score.
No, because if they get shut out the next night, he'll blame us.
Mike Soccia's got to be happy about that. But hey, there's no grand slams for the Halos, but they've scored more runs than anybody else.
Jeff Bennett gets into the ball game for Joe Madden here in the bottom of the 8th.
And he always said that grand slams are rally killers anyhow. I never understood that one, but I'll go with it.
Me either. That seems like a pretty good punctuation point to your rally to get 4 with one swing of the bat. Reggie Willits leads off the bottom of the 8th. Reggie lifts one into center field. Kapler makes the catch. Kapler's had a tough day, though. He's had 4 at-bats, 3 strikeouts, and a double play ball.
A tough homecoming for Gabe Kapler.
One out, Sean Figgins, who already has 3 hits. Three of the 23 in this game combined between the two teams. Figgy has scored 1 run, stolen a base, and the 3 singles have him hitting .304. Juggled, throw to first, they still get him. Jason Bartlett stayed with that one. Two outs, Ibar coming up. The Angels wrapping up this homestand here with this game today. They don't have another home game until August 24th with Detroit.
That's unbelievable. That's a tough 10-game road trip. 4 games in Baltimore, 3 in Cleveland. Finish all 3 up in Toronto.
And then fly home from Toronto and play the next night.
That's why this game was so important for Mike Soccia to be able to get that win against a very good team, the Tampa Bay Rays, who was represented the American League in the World Series last year.
3-0 here to Eric Ibar,
who prompted Mike Soccia to have that meeting after Joe Maddon's Rays went out and beat him pretty handily. There's a couple games down in the Trop. At that point, making the Angels 29-29, a 500 club.
Jared Weaver and Chris Tillman, the Angels and Orioles, Friday night here on Fox Sports West. That'll be the beginning of the road trip. Here's a 2-out walk to Ibar.
A good guy to have on the hill for you to set the tone. Jared Weaver coming on back-to-back games in which he had 11 strikeouts. 22 strikeouts last 2 games for Jared Weaver.
You know, the Orioles are having a tough year, but they still are above 500 at home. At Camden Yards, they're pretty good. 29-27. Bobby Abreu, the batter now. And it always feels a little funny to go in and open up your weekend series on Friday night, play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then stay there and play Monday. That's what the Angels are doing.
Yeah, day game Sunday and night game on Monday. Unusual. They have another one of those series in Kansas City where they do the same thing, play a Monday game after a Sunday day game. A tough schedule. Not many off days the rest of the season for the Angels after tomorrow.
No, and really, I don't think anybody considers taking a cross-country flight a day off. But the Angels also have some makeup games in what would have been days off. August 27th, they're making up the game with Oakland. That was postponed after the Adenhart tragedy. They have a makeup game in New York. When they fly to Boston in September, they have to stop in New York and play 1 game. on September 14th, then go on to Boston and continue their road trip.
Mike Scioscia loves to give his regulars a day off to recharge the batteries. A good time for the day off for Bobby Abreu, who's had a tough homestand as far as the batting average. Mike was able to push this to the limit, have an opportunity to sweep the Rays.
Bobby bounces one up the middle, but Bartlett gets to it. And that'll do it for the Angels in the 8th. We head to the 9th inning. The Angels holding a 5-run lead. Game. Kevin Jepson enters the ball game for the Angels.
One of those last 17 games, ERA rated 2. Great fastball. 95, 97. Will cut the fastball. Looks like a slider at times. 90, 91. Good curveball and a changeup. Important role for Mike Scioscia's bullpen, particularly now when you don't have Justin Spire anymore.
Needless to say, not a save situation with a 5-run advantage. Top of the 9th, top of the order for the Rays. Jason Bartlett to lead off against Jepson. Talking about the lack of days off, and this is a long season because it started a little bit late this year, so this is going to go through October 4th. Usually you're into the playoffs by then, but the last regular season game is October 4th for the Angels in Oakland. If the World Series goes 7 games this year, Gooby, it'll be over on the 4th of November.
Wow, that just seems
unbelievable, doesn't it?
And the number of the teams that are going to be in the postseason at this point, it's going to be fairly chilly.
Yes.
Last time I remember that was in 01. Remember Derek Jeter against the Diamondbacks that year. What a, known as Mr. November at that point. He hit that home run. Well, that was a great World Series. The D-backs and the Yankees after 9/11.
Oh, that really was. Yeah, that was exciting.
Gonzalez wins that World Series at home against Mariano Rivera. Jam shot. Joe Torre brought the infield in. Craig Counsell, I think, scored that. He also scored the winning run in Game 7 when he's a member of the Florida Marlins.
That's right. Yeah. There were so many great moments, and 9-1-1 was so fresh in everybody's mind that I think even there's a ground ball that Figgins couldn't quite get. I think even Yankee haters had a moment or two where they could root for the Yankees in New York during that series.
Young Kim giving up the home run there to Scott Brocious. And that ball was skull. That's the hot corner and a bad hop. It's just like a putting green after a lot of rounds of golf. Gonna get a bad hop. That was a tough one.
It was fine in the morning.
Yeah.
Here's Carl Crawford. If you do get two East Coast teams in the World Series this year, you might be talking about Christmas when they finally finish it. There'd be some weather back there.
Like Game 5 of the World Series with the Rays and the Phillies lasted about a month itself.
Yes, it did.
But it'll be in sunny Southern California, the World Series.
That's a good thought.
Always positive, Rory.
I've noticed that about you. Right back to Jepson, and he starts a 1-6-3 double play. 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Well, we saw down in Tampa, Crawford doesn't hit into double plays, and they were able to turn on a double play on there. That's about his only chance you have. A ground ball back up the middle. Nice job by Jepson. That's what you do. You field it, you turn around, throw it to the base. Trust that one of your infielders will be at that position to be able to turn to double play.
Joe Madden, who has a home still here in Southern California, must be thinking, well, it was nice to be back, but let's get out of here. He has not fared well as a manager back in the Big A. And Joe's just been swept here. One more out to go. It'll be their 4th loss in a row overall. One and one to Evan Longoria. Two balls and a strike. With the Yankees winning today, and they did, Tampa Bay, with a loss here today, will be 10 games out in the Eastern Division. Still fighting for a wild card. Kendry Morales looks like he has a play, and that's the ball game. The Angels put another 10 on the board as they beat the Rays and sweep the series. Just another halo victory.
That was an outstanding victory by the club here. Trevor Bell started the game, gave him 5 1/3 solid innings, 4 strikeouts.